taking one last lap around the empty house. This is crazy. Believe me, we left it looking much prettier than it was when we first moved in. Well, today has been the ultimate lesson in patience because the movers were 3 hours late, and then we get to the storeroom, and thank the Lord all of the stuff that the movers brought fit in, but I had an entire Jeep load of stuff that still needed to fit in there, and it's not. I've been going back and forth and, incrementally putting little things in here. Things don't always go the way you think they're going to go, and you just have to regroup and just roll with it. And here we are, after all of this moving, in this wonderful, wonderful place. And on the first night that we got here, it was pitch black. You couldn't see anything. But on the second night, the sun began to set, and it was just absolutely gorgeous. And I mean, it was just the perfect amount of clouds. And so I decided before it got too far along that I'd go ahead and I'd set up my phone actually to take a time lapse of it. So today I'm gonna show you the most simple method, in my opinion, to make a time lapse while still having a lot of control over it. Now, there are plenty of apps that will allow you to do time lapses in them, but the complaint that I have about those is that they don't really let you have any control over the speed. So, you take a 3-minute video that you turn into a time lapse, and it may speed it up so much that it doesn't really get the effect across that you want. So this method may not be quite as easy as just opening up your iPhone and just flipping through to time lapse and hitting record, but it's almost that easy. And just to prove to you how easy it is, I'm gonna do the whole entire thing on my iPhone. I can do this, you can do this without even needing a computer. You can do it on your iPhone or your iPad, super easy. And the app that I'm gonna be using today is Adobe Premiere Rush. And that, in my opinion, is by far the best app that a beginner filmmaker could get. It's $9.99 a month, and it works on Android, iPhone, and your computer, and your iPad. It works on PC or Mac. It's just really awesome, really robust, and Adobe has all sorts of other really cool things that add into it that just make it, in my opinion, the coolest program there is out there. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to open Premiere Rush, and I'm going to pull in our video. I'm gonna hit the plus button, and that's going to allow me to add media. And I'm gonna pull in that media from my camera roll. So I'm gonna flip through and I'm gonna find that, and I'm going to bring that in. And then once it's loaded, you might have a little bit of extra stuff on the end. At the very end of my time lapse, you can see where it kind of wiggles as I take it off. So I'm actually gonna go in and I'm going to cut off the places that I don't want. And I'm just going to scroll through and move my clip to where I want to cut it. And then I'm gonna hit that scissor button and it's gonna cut it for me. And then what I'm gonna do, after I've cut off the places that I want, what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to speed down here at the bottom, and you'll see that there's an area that says range speed. So I'm gonna hit that, and then I'm gonna slide it pretty much all the way up to the top. And then once I do that, I'm gonna kind of take a second and I'm gonna watch it, see how fast it goes, and see if I like how it looks. And I really want to look for things that are moving, like those clouds and the sun, and really see if that's a speed that I like. And I do like this. So once we figure out a speed that we want to use, the next thing we want to think about is, where are we putting this video? I'm gonna put mine up on Instagram. So right now, it's wide. It is in landscape mode. This is considered a 16:9 ratio. But because I'm gonna be putting it up on Instagram, it needs to be taller instead of wider. So I'm going to scroll over to this little icon where it's one rectangle on its side and one rectangle that's up, and I'm gonna click that, or I'm gonna tap that, and it's gonna give me several different sizes to choose from. The best things to choose for Instagram are gonna be either your 9x16, your 4x5, and your 1x1. Now 9x16 is gonna be more for stories. It's really tall. If you choose that and you bring it in to put on just your regular Instagram feed, it's gonna cut the top and the bottom off. So really, the best options for me right now are gonna be the 4x5 and the 1x1. But I'm actually gonna choose the 1x1 because it's a little bit wider and I feel like I can show more of the sunset. So I'm gonna do that. And then I might come in here and mess with the colors a little bit. If we go to that color panel, you can actually see that there are presets in there. So I'm gonna choose cinematic, and right now it's like way, way, way too intense. But I can dial it back, and then I can come in and I can adjust my exposure, my contrast. I can get all of these things dialed in exactly how I want them to. And then after I get it looking just how I want it, I'm gonna go up top here. There's an icon that kind of looks like a rectangle with an arrow sticking out of the top, and I'm gonna hit that. That's gonna be our export button. And I'm gonna go into quality settings, and you don't have to do this. This is just optional, but this can keep your file from being way too big. So I am gonna go to match frame rate. Now this is already on 1080p, and I don't recommend going any lower than 1080p for quality purposes. But if it was in 4K, you might wanna go ahead and just drop it down to 1080. 4K can be a pretty hefty file. Your phone might not like it. It may take a little while to upload if you don't have a really good internet connection. And then from there, it's gonna render for me, and it's gonna export, and it's just gonna save right to my camera roll. And from there, I can just upload it to Instagram. And if you're signed into Instagram through Rush, you can actually upload it directly from there. So it's super, super easy. And the best part is you've learned some really great editing basics. You know, with editing, and I'll talk more about this in depth, but with editing, it's really all about just cutting and moving things around where you want them. And later I'll even talk to you about adding in some music, and we can layer stuff. It's kind of like a 7-layer bean dip that's just really visually awesome. So that's it. I would love to hear any questions from you. What kind of time lapses are you thinking about making? Are you an artist? Do you want to do time lapses of the amazing paintings that you do? Are you a photographer? Are you going to take an amazing time lapse of the sky because you live out where you can actually see the stars? I want to know. Let me know down in the comments below. And if you like this video, make sure to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss anything that I'm coming out with. And make sure to check me out on Instagram too, because I put these out on a fairly regular basis, but I am always on Instagram. That's the best way to find me and talk to me. So I can't wait to hear from you. I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I'm going to enjoy tonight's sunset. So I will see you in the next episode.